We yesterday we did this z test. In z test, we took a equation that is x that is mean of sample minus population mean divided by standard deviation divided by root of n. So we took that equation, and based on that equation we found some z value. So then we checked the probability value with respect to the null hypothesis, and if the probability value is less than significance value, that means if the probability is very less with respect to null, we will reject the null. If probability is more than our significance, then we will say okay, it's supporting null, so we will not reject the null. So if p, that is p value, is less than alpha, alpha is our significance, we will reject the null hypothesis. If p greater than equal to alpha, we will not reject the null hypothesis. So that's what
If
we
if P like, what is the last statement?
if p is less than alpha,
Okay,
then reject null hypothesis.
then reject null hypothesis.
Yes. If p is greater than equal to alpha, do not reject null hypothesis. That's
Can you
what.
just type in the Skype so we may make a point of it?
Say I'll share you the screen in that only in notes only it's there. 1 second.
No notes. Let's see. Because we are not preparing a notes right now because that's the reason.
No, you are able to see the screen.
Not yet.
Yes, I'm able to see.
Yeah, I am able to see.
Okay, just 1 second. Okay, this one I was telling this. This one you can see p less than alpha, reject h naught. P greater than equal to alpha, do not reject h naught. Right? That's what I was saying. If p
Okay.
value is less than significance value, then reject the null hypothesis. That is h naught. If p
And
greater,
how the p value is calculated? Like yesterday formula only.
yeah. Yesterday we did z test. Like that,
Z test,
any
yeah.
test is there, any test you do. It's not z
Mm-hmm.
test only. There are different hypothesis testing. Okay. Yesterday we saw one type of hypothesis testing, that is called a z test. Once you
Okay.
do the test, once you do the test, you have to look into z distribution table. So all the test has their own distribution table. Once you look into the distribution table, you will find the p value with respect to the test value.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so we did this one, that is Z test. Today we will be doing this one. Today we'll be doing t test. So now see, in scientific calculations, mostly in computer and all, when you are calculating, okay, the famous one which is there is called as t test. Okay, so this t test is more famous, like it's being used for scientific calculations. So we are going to see today t test. Okay, now this t test is also called a student t test. It's also called a student t-test. So the reason behind, so this is also a hypothesis testing, okay, where we can test the significance of one value over the other. Like here we use this testing to check the significance of one value over the other. Now this test is also called a student t-test because see the name, there is it's just student t-test, like the guy who designed the test, when he was writing the test, okay, the pen which he was using was student. So that's where like he named it as student t-test. Okay, so there is no significant meaning behind it, but it's anyways called as student t-test or t-test. So here we are going to see this hypothesis test, that is called as t-test. So this t-test is a type of hypothesis test which follows the t distribution under null hypothesis. Okay, like your z test is a hypothesis test which follows z distribution under null hypothesis. This t-test follows a t-distribution under the null hypothesis. So we are going to see this t-test today. So now we are going to look into two types of t-test. Okay, there are like different types of t-test. There are more also, but we are going to see two basic types, which are the most famous one, which you use most of the time. One is called as one sample t-test. The other one is called as two sample t-test. So there are two types of t-test, but one is called as one sample. The other one is called as two sample t-test. So now first we are going to look into one sample t-test. Then we will practice a two sample t-test. Now see what one sample t-test does. So now all these hypothesis testing are done to check the significance of something over the other, okay, to check if the null hypothesis is true or not. So here we are going to do a one sample t-test. So one sample t-test will check whether a sample mean differs from the population mean. So suppose you have taken a sample of data, is that sample having good similar kind of information with respect to population? Is it well distributed with respect to population or not? So now what is a population?
Population is whole set of data.
Yeah, whole set of data. Sample is just the subset. Now suppose you are picking some, yeah, you are picking some subset of data. Now we have to see if that subset of data is good enough or not, if that holds all kind of information or not, if it is well distributed or not for our analysis, right? So that's what we have to see. So here one sample t-test is used to check if the sample is significant enough or not with respect to population. So here first of all, to understand the null hypothesis, here in one sample t-test, null hypothesis says that whatever sample and population you have, okay, there is no significant difference between them. Okay, like they are same, like whatever sample you have taken and whatever population you already have within your data is like same. There is no significant difference between them. That's what null hypothesis says. Now we will do this test and we will see what kind of p-value we are getting, and based on that we'll see if the sample differs from the population or not. That's what we have to check. Whatever sample we are picking out of the population, is it similar or is it little bit different? Okay, so that's what we'll find out through this test. Okay, so getting the understanding of this test, you are able to understand what this test for. Now see okay, so now here see, to understand more deeper about this concept, I have not taken data sets like CSV files and all. Here I am generating some data. Okay, here I am generating some data of my own, so that I will have some sample and I will have some population data, and I will also know like what kind of data I have. Okay, like whatever data I am selecting, I will have some idea about the data what I'm selecting. So for that, I'm just creating a data set here. In real time, you don't do like no one will tell you, okay, create this kind of random data. But this is what like I'm just creating for understanding of this test. So now to do this, first like I'm importing here certain packages like NumPy package, then Pandas package. Then we need SciPy package. So SciPy is nothing but scientific Python. It's used for like statistical calculations and all. So here I am using SciPy stats package, okay, for statistical calculation. Now import math is also there. Math is not needed. This is used for mathematical calculations like basic maths. You have certain like advanced mathematics also in this package, also in NumPy package. So here you don't need to import math. This I did by mistake. Okay, it's not needed here. So you can do only import NumPy, Pandas, SciPy. These three packages you have to import. Now the next one is, here I am saying np.random.seed. So now here whatever data I am going to select, like I am going to generate my own data set here. Like I am going to generate a population data set, then I am going to generate a sample data set here. So now to generate this data, like whatever data I will be generating, the values in that will be random. Like within a range, it will be just random values. So now whenever you are giving some picking some random values, we can also set the randomness. Okay, setting the randomness means like suppose it picked for me 1 3 suppose it picked some random value saying 1357. Suppose 4 random value it picked for me 1357. When you tell okay, you also want some random values within 1 to 10. Suppose I want random values within 1 to 10. I told computer, okay, give me random values between 1 to 10, and it picked me 1357 for me. Suppose you also told the same thing, give me random value, it will give you some other random value. Okay, so random variable means each of the value has equal probability. So like it can pick anything. Okay, so now here we can also maintain the randomness. Suppose whatever data I have, whatever data I am getting on my system, you can also get the same kind of data if you maintain the randomness. That is also called as state of randomness, or we call it as random seed. Okay, we can set a seed. Seed is nothing but like where that random data has to be selected, like in which pattern. So here we are saying np.random.seed 6. So here I'm saying 6. If you also use this seed, that is 6, you can use any number, but if you use a different number, your random variable will be different. Your values, whatever will be selected, will be different. So just to have similar kind of data, here I am giving seed 6. You can also give seed 6 here. Okay, so np.random.seed is nothing but to set a state of randomness for our data set. Okay, till this you are getting.
Yeah.
Okay, so next is like see here to create the data, I will create like data on population. Suppose saying Bangalore, suppose saying Karnataka population, like total population in Karnataka. Okay, like that. Suppose 2,50,000 people I will take as my total data set. That is my population data set. 2,50,000, and here I am calling population age. Like I am going to take the age values of 2,50,000 people in Karnataka. Suppose I'm going to just generate some random variables of 2,50,000 records. But this age, like I am creating within some kind of distribution. Now, like yesterday I told you about probability distribution, right? So probability distribution is where each of the value has a probability associated with that. So now here, like I'm going to use a type of probability distribution called as Poisson distribution. Now this Poisson distribution is also a very famous like probability distribution, which is used to generate which gives you probability for continuous data. So here I'm going to just generate a distribution rather than just saying okay select random values, any random values. I'm creating a distribution like using distribution. I'm creating random values. So here first I'm going to first I'm saying here population age 1. So population age 1 means I will create some like older here elder people. Okay, I will create some age of elder people. So here I'm saying stats. So stats is this IP stats package. Then stats.poisson. So this stats.poisson is nothing but this Poisson is it's the probability distribution. Okay, then dot RVS. RVS means random variates. So using that distribution, it will give us some random variable. Then I'm passing some arguments saying location, like what is the location of the value, and mu is nothing but what is the average. Okay, mu is nothing but our mean. So what is the mean? So here I'm saying mu is 35. That is my mean should be 35. So it will give me some older values, like some old age values here. And then size equal to 1,50,000 records. So it will give me 1,50,000 records, like random age values, where it will be like around 35 years old, taking 35 years as average. It will give me might be 78, might be maximum 75, from 35 to 75, like that it might give. Next is next I'm saying population age 2, stats.poisson.rvs location 18, and mu equal to 10. So here I'm saying mu equal to 10. So here it will give me some young guys, like 1 lakh young people and 1,50,000 elder people's age. Okay, so here I'm getting almost like 2,50,000 age of people living in Karnataka. So now here, I'm going to concatenate both so that I get one single data set of population. So here I'm saying population age equal to np.concatenate population age 1, comma population age 2. Similarly, I'm going to do with Bangalore age. Bangalore age is nothing but my sample. Suppose I'm going to select only 50 data out of 2,50,000 records, whatever I generated. Similar kind of record I will generate for sample, that is only 50 records. Only I will generate 50 records. So here I'm saying Bangalore age. So again the same thing. Okay, but here I have given average as 30. Previous one was 35. So here I have given a different kind of average to see how similar the distribution is. And Bangalore age 2, I am giving the same kind of data, 20 data. So total is 50 records. Then I'm checking the mean of both the records. So here I see there is little bit of difference between the mean. So to understand how significant the difference is, we will do the hypothesis testing on this. So by default, null hypothesis says that there is no significant difference between the data, both are same. So we will do the test and we'll see if the data has some kind of difference, like significant difference, or the data is same. Okay, now you are getting this. Are you getting this?
Yeah.
Okay, so you can write down this code. Okay, then we'll be doing a hypothesis testing on this. Okay, you can go to Jupyter Notebook and just write down this code. No need to import math. The other things you can write down.
What is the MU means?
It's mean, average.
MU is mean.
Mean, yes.
Okay.
Okay, this is just to tell, okay, within that average, taking it as average, give me some values.
But for me, it's becoming a lot of difference.
No, see, first one I have given MU is 35. Then second one I have given MU is 10. Population. Then again for Bangalore, I have given MU is 30. Then for Bangalore, second one I have given 10. Okay, there is a
For
same thing you should
values
get.
are coming. For me, same values are coming.
Same thing should be
Yeah,
getting.
same.
No, but for me, it's coming different.
Cross check, something is missing. Just cross check this MU. You have given right MUs. Have you given 35, 10, the other one 30 and 10?
Yeah, everything is correct.
There will be some mistake. np.random.seed you have given 6.
Yeah.
Okay, can you share the screen?
Yeah, sure.
Execute again. See, first one you have taken np.concatenate. Population age 1, population age 2 you should have taken, right? It's a mistake.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, you are getting. Okay, so now here, see, knowingly we have taken some data where average is not matching. There is a bit of difference within the average. Okay, like my sample average and the population average is not same. If you see the population average, first one is 35, but in the second one I have taken 30. Knowingly, like we have taken to see, okay, there should be some difference within the data. That's what like our hypothesis testing should detect that there is some difference. By default, null hypothesis says that there is no difference between the population and the sample. So we have to do test to find out if there is any difference. Now, to do this one sample t-test, we can use this SciPy stats package. So here I'm saying stats dot t-test underscore one sample. T-test underscore one SAMP means t-test underscore one sample t-test. Then A equal to A is nothing but the sample data you have to pass. That is our Bangalore age. And then you have to pass population mean. That is the mean of the population. So here second argument we are passing pop mean equal to population age dot mean. So now after doing this test, it gives us t statistic, that is the t value as minus 2.57, and the p value associated with that also it gives us here, that is 0.01. So now suppose our this one, that is our significance value is 0.05. So what should we do here? Should we reject the null or should we not reject the null?
We should reject the null.
Yeah, so we will reject the null. So we will say that there is some kind of difference we see. Okay, null hypothesis says that there is no difference, both are same. There is no significant difference between the data, but here we can say there is some significant difference between the data. So we will reject the null hypothesis, saying there is some difference. Knowingly also we have created that difference by taking different average. Okay, once you run this afterwards, okay, you can also try by giving the same kind of average. That is like Bangalore age 1, you can put it the average as 35 instead of 30. Then again do the test. Then you will come to know. So when the average will be similar, your p value will be greater than like your significance value. Okay, as the average is different here, So that's where it has detected that, okay, both the data are different. There is some significant difference between the data. That is 250 and we are just picking 50 records. So there is some difference.
So for stats, the t-test is a method is already defined, right?
Yeah, this is already. This is how scientific calculations you will be doing, right? You don't have to write down the code, but the code is same. The z-test, whatever formula you saw, t-test also same equation is there. Okay, if you do help of stats.t-test underscore one SMP, it will show you the code also. Equation also what they use. Same equation is there. One sample test is say like similar equation as compared to z-test, what we did last class, that is yesterday.
Sorry, come again.
Whatever like z-test we did yesterday, this one sample t-test equation is similar to z-test equation what we did yesterday.
Acha, the formula is equation is similar.
Equation is similar. You can type help of stats dot t-test underscore one SMP. It will show you the formula, which is very much similar.
Okay. But we are not using G, like in the real time, right?
No, we don't use z-test in the real time. Mostly t-test is the most famous one. Nowadays, you don't have to do this also. There are some ready-made packages like OLS and other packages where it will do all kind of tests. Like going ahead, we'll be looking at other tests like F test, then chi-square test, Jar-Cube-Error test, Durbin-Watson test. So all these will be done directly by one simple package. Okay, it's now much easier. Like you do one type of you call one method, it will do all the test and give you a big report saying what all it found, like that.
Okay. So in that, like we don't have to set the significance value also.
Significance value is what we have to set every time. Significant value is what we have to tell. Statistics doesn't know what's the significance value which we are comparing. That's what we have to put our intelligence saying, okay, this is what my significance value is, and whatever p value it is giving, like our test is giving, we have to compare that p value with our significance value. Then we decide should we reject or should we not reject the null hypothesis. Getting right?
Acha, p value is compared with the alpha, and
Exactly.
if alpha, right?
Yes. If p value less than alpha, then reject the null. If p value greater than equal to alpha, then do not reject the null. And alpha we have to set, p value computer will give. That is our equation will give.
Okay. And suppose like we reject that hypothesis, then after that, what we have to do? Like
We are rejecting means we are coming to know if it is something is true or not. We can take the now here in this case I cannot pick the sample as I see that sample is not good, right? My sample is
right,
having different kind of information, so sample is not similar to the population. The sample should be similar to population, right? And then otherwise how can I pick the sample?
right.
Okay, so that's what we can say. Okay, here sample is not having good information. See,
Okay,
suppose you are doing this is like one sample t-test, you will not do much, but sometime you see this t-test is nothing but only population and sample. It might be only one variable. Suppose you have a categorical variable in that you want to see, okay, other variables are related or not, like that, or are they completely different? For those kind of scenario also you will do.
okay. That could be possible. Yes.
So now you have done this mu also you changed and saw what you are getting p value. Once you change
Uh,
the mu 35 here, what is the p value?
like mu, where have to change? Like first one, population mu, or like
Anyone you can change this Bangalore age mu. This is different, right? Average is different. Can you make the average same and see what result you are getting?
okay. I'm making 30-30.
Okay.
P value is coming 7.4.
Yeah. So now p value has increased quite a lot, right?
Yes,
So
yes,
means
yes.
now we have similar kind of information. Now we cannot reject the null. Null says that both have similar kind of information, so we cannot reject the null. Getting?
Okay, yeah. Actually, I'm a little bit confused. Okay, I got see, I got the point, but confused with that. Like, suppose I got some population data on that we have to do testing, hypothesis testing. Then we said the like there is some already hypothesis H naught is already given, right? So against that we made the assumption. Okay, that should
H
in that.
naught always see H naught is always the same. H
Yes.
naught here in t-test it says that there is no significant difference between two data. That is population and the sample, whatever you have taken, there is no significant difference. That's what null hypothesis says here. So we will decide based on our p-value and our significance value. By comparing both of them, we will decide is it true or is it not true. That's what. That's the
Okay,
only
the,
we will be doing.
only just decide is it true, is it not true?
Yeah.
And we like we well, what is I'm not what is the word? Uh, okay, got it.
Kasif, you are getting?
Again, I will go through the same after this.
Okay, but you are able to get or any doubt is there? See, this is for testing the hypothesis. This is to check the significance of something over the other. So, like null hypothesis says that both the data are having similar kind of information. That's what by default null hypothesis says here. So, if we are getting a p-value which is less than our significance value, we will say no, null hypothesis is not true. We will reject the null. If p-value greater than alpha or equal to alpha, we will not reject the null. So we will say, okay, null hypothesis is true. Here, as our p-value is less, so we are saying no, both are not having similar information. We are rejecting the null and we are saying no, both are not having similar information. Both are having different information. And when we take similar kind of information, that is when we change the average, we get a higher p-value. So we will say, okay, yes, now both are having similar information. Getting right? Getting?
Yes.
Okay, so now the next one we will do one more hypothesis testing that is called as two sample t-test. Now this is the most famous one. So now the purpose of this test is to tell if there is any significant difference between two data set. Now suppose you have two sample or two data set, you can also tell two variable or you have two model, like you have done some prediction and you have two model, like any two data you have and you want to see if there is any significant difference between the two data, between both of the data, then you can do this two sample t-test. Okay, so now two sample t-test is when you have two sample and you want to see if there is any difference between the sample or if there is no difference between the sample. That's what you can find out through two sample t-test. Okay, to take an example, suppose suppose I want to like buy a computer. Okay, buy a computer. So now here I want to buy a computer which is fast in performance. Okay, like which is a performance oriented. So now I went to the computer shop and I liked two computers there. I like both of the computer. Now I want to see which computer is much faster, as like I want to do some analytics and other things in that. So I want to buy a computer which is like very fast. So within those two I want to check which one is faster. Like both of them looks very similar, configurations are very similar. I just want to see which one is faster. So what I did is, suppose I took some data set and I wrote some algorithm on that and I ran those programs in both of the computer 10 times. Okay, like 10 different programs are there suppose, and I run each of the program in both of the computer. Now like there are two computer A and computer B. So now my first program what I executed in computer A and B, my computer A took 10 seconds to execute that, computer B took 13 seconds to execute that. So like that for other 10 tasks also I have the data here. Now if you look at the data A and B, okay, so we have to find out if there is any significant difference between the data. or if both the data are same, means both the computers are same, or is there any difference between the performance of both the computer. Okay, so that's what we have to find out. Getting this part?
Yes.
So here we are going to check the significance of two data set. Okay, is there any significant difference between two data set? Earlier we were checking is there any significant difference between population and a sample. Here we are checking is there any difference between like completely different data sets. So now here like I have taken some A and B, and we are going to test. So now here which one do you feel like is the fastest one? Which one, if you look it feels like a fastest one to you, A or B? Which one seems to be a faster one? Which one is taking less times to execute the task? Hello.
It seems A.
Okay, it seems like A, but we will do the test and we will see if there is any difference or not. By default, null hypothesis says that there is no significant difference. Okay, both are same. Null hypothesis says that no significant difference is there. Okay, in the previous one also it was saying there is no significant difference between the data. Here also it says there is no significant difference between the data. So we'll do the test and we'll see if there is any significant difference between the data or not. So for that, first here to do this test, I am importing that from SciPy import stats. Then I'm passing my two data sets, saying A is my one sample, B is the other sample. Then here I'm doing the test saying stats.ttest_ind. So now this two sample t-test is done using this method, that is t-test_ind, that is test of independence. So now how independent the values are. So that's where we call it as t-test_ind. Then we are passing both of the sample. Then we'll be doing the test. Okay, just write down this code. Then we will see what p-value and all we are getting. This is called as two sample t-test. You can create a new tab or give a comment saying two sample t-test and you can do this. You can also write like what we are trying to do here.
P value 0.08.
Okay, p-value is 0.08. So now significance value is suppose 0.05. So p-value is greater. So now what should we do? Should we reject or do not reject? So what is the null hypothesis here? What does null hypothesis say here? Okay, you should write down the null hypothesis before doing the test. Without knowing null hypothesis, there is no meaning of doing the test. Okay, here we are going to check if null hypothesis is true or not. That's what we are checking. So always write down the null hypothesis. So null hypothesis tells that there is no significant difference between the data sets. Okay, there is no significant difference between the data sets. That's what null hypothesis says. So what should we do here? Should we go with, so is it like accepting null or is it rejecting null?
It is less than like significance value.
So rejecting then.
Is it less? P value is 0.08. Our alpha is 0.05. It is greater there,
It's
right?
greater, yes.
It is greater. So we cannot reject. We do not reject the null. So we will say whatever null is there is true. That means there is no significant difference between both the computers. If I buy any of the computer, both will perform same. There is no difference. It just looks like that, but there is no significant difference between both the computers. Okay, both, if I buy any of those, will perform same only. Now getting this part? Hello?
Yeah, yes, getting.
Okay, so now we will say there is no there is no significant difference between them. So both are same. Now here we are not able to reject the null. So now here I have taken one more
Sarup, so always like our significance value would be 0.05 only, right?
No, it's not always. In some scenario, it will change. By default,
Like,
you will say 0.
no,
Okay,
by default, like maximum cases, it's going to be 0.05.
yes, maximum case 0.05.
Okay.
Okay, for few cases it might change. We are going to see those kind of case also.
Okay.
So now here I have taken one more computer saying computer D, and again I am checking this computer D with A. Again checking the significance value with D and A. Okay, as A looks like little bit faster to me. So I took one more computer and I am checking if there is any difference now or not. Okay, so here I have just increased few values. That's all.
And Sarup, there is a one more question.
Yes, still
I have to use the distribution chart.
distribution table. You
Yeah,
don't
this
have to here as it is giving you the p value right directly. When you get the test value, it's you have to look into distribution table to get the p value. But here it gives, so it's no not needed.
okay. Because I'm seeing somewhere like there is a like some I think some YouTube video or something. So in that they are like saying that if you are you're taking a significance values of 5%, that 5% that chart value is minus 1.962 plus 1.96. So if the values lies between that, then your hypothesis is true, and otherwise it's false, like that.
See, if your p-value less than significance, then your hypothesis, like null hypothesis, you will reject. That is false. If it is greater, you will not reject. That's what you have to remember. Okay, so that's the
Okay,
actual.
okay. Okay. And same here in this, like there is a no use of type 1 error and type 2 error.
Yeah. Type 1 error is where this one only like true. There is something called as true positive, false positive. Okay, those are called as your type 1, type 2 errors. Okay, now to understand here also I have given 1 second. Okay, in like anyways, that confusion matrix while we discuss, you will get this properly clear. So here, like I have written in note also, in statistical hypothesis testing, type 1 error is rejecting of a true null hypothesis, also known as false positive. Okay, so false positive means whatever you have, you are rejecting the true null hypothesis, like whatever is true in null hypothesis, you are rejecting that. That is called as type 1 error. While a type 2 error is the non-rejection of a false null hypothesis, means you are not rejecting a false null hypothesis. It is called as false negative. Okay, so now this like false positive, false negative, all these thing you will understand when we do something called as confusion matrix. There is something called as confusion matrix that we are going to study later on. So there is something called as false positive. False positive means type 1 error. False negative means type 2 error. Okay, there are once you understand true positive, true negative, false positive, false negative, all this comes into confusion matrix. There you will understand in a much deeper. But for now you can just remember, okay, type 1 error is the rejection of a true null hypothesis, and type 2 error is the non-rejection of a false null hypothesis. That is what is type 1 and type 2 error. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, done this one.
Yeah,
See,
done.
hypothesis testing just is very simple thing. This is just used to check the significance of something over the other. How significant, is there any significant difference between the values, or there is no significant difference between the values? So for this, we do hypothesis testing. These are also called as feature engineering. That is to find out which feature is important or not important. Suppose I have two features. Suppose you are doing a study on diabetes, and you have two columns there saying hemoglobin count, and you have one more column saying platelet count. So like you feel like, okay, both the columns look very same. So are they having different kind of information, or are they having similar kind of information? Now to know that, to hypothesis testing on that, that is you can take both the data sets, that is both the variables, and you can check if there is any difference between the variables, or if the information is very same. So those things you can also test when you are doing a data set study, that is feature engineering, to find out features are like similar or different features are there. Okay, so it can be used in different ways in different places, just to check the significance of one thing over the other. Wherever you need to check the significance, you can check with respect to hypothesis testing by using hypothesis testing. Are we getting this right?
Yeah, it's clear. So in this case, there is a p-value is coming less than 0.5, so we should reject it,
Reject.
right?
Yeah, p-value not less than 0.05. Don't tell anyone that. You say p-value less than alpha.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, say p-value less than alpha, then reject. P-value greater than equal to alpha, then do not reject. Like that.
Okay.
Okay, in some of the places they would have written also saying p less than 0.05 reject. That's actually wrong. Okay, alpha can change. Alpha is
Yeah.
not static. It can change. Okay, so this is what is your hypothesis testing. Next is one more type of hypothesis testing called as ANOVA. So to understand this, there is a little bit more understanding needs to be there. So this we will start as a new topic. Okay, that is we will do tomorrow. Okay, this one, that is ANOVA, analysis of variance. Okay, this is also a type of hypothesis testing, but here you will test more than two samples. Till now we saw, okay, two sample or one sample with one population, like that we saw. But if you have more than two, or if you have three, four, or eight samples like that, you usually do hypothesis testing, which is called as ANOVA, that is analysis of variance. So this we are going to see tomorrow. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, actually, we could have done, but this will take minimum now 40 minutes like that. And tomorrow, actually, morning I have to go to airport. So that's why
So
we'll keep it this tomorrow.
can you give me, if it is possible, you can give me some a little bit like overview picture. So tomorrow we will like we can when explaining, then we can better understand.
I didn't get you. You miss?
I'm saying that if it is possible, you can give the just a picture of this particular topic. So
Yeah.
tomorrow when you
ANOVA is
yeah
nothing but say ANOVA is also a hypothesis testing, but here ANOVA is a collection of hypothesis testing models. Okay, there are different models. Like you saw t-test. Similarly, there is f-test. There is this chi-square test. So there are different statistical models. Okay, different testing which are called as ANOVA. So ANOVA is a collection of statistical model, okay, where you check the variance between the group and among the group. So now this we'll understand more about it tomorrow, but here you can say when you have more than two samples. Now we saw in hypothesis testing we have basically two type of sample, basically we take either two sample or one sample one population, like that we saw. If you have more than two, then you go with ANOVA, and ANOVA is mostly done for categorical data, because mostly categorical data might be more than two. Okay, like suppose if somebody asks you, okay, find me a testing to check the votes of BJP, Congress, and JDS. Is there any difference between the voting counts and all? Okay, within one particular legislation, and you see that very similar the values are. You want to see in each of the seat how what kind of difference is there between them or not. So those kind of scenario you can use like ANOVA testing, okay, which where you can find out the significant between multiple variables. Like when you have more than 2 3 variables, you can check those using ANOVA test. Getting?
yeah.
This basic ANOVA test, the basic one in ANOVA test is called as F test. We are going to see tomorrow F test.
Okay.
Okay. So we'll wind up here. Also, you can prepare a little bit on statistics. We'll have some MCQs on statistics, basic of statistics, the descriptive part, and then we'll start with ANOVA.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
We'll wind up. Okay.